It is the Blitz here on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. I'm Jason Minnix. We're live out of Hills and Dales Ice House, 1604 and Babcock as we get you ready for the Cowboys Buccaneers. Tonight we're having a big watch party with Miller Lite, the only beer of the Dallas Cowboys. We have a lot of great prizes to give away. First drawing's coming up at 5 o'clock, and the early bird gets the worm. You got to pick your prizes. We've got Cowboys tickets to give away. We've got a Cowboys Miller Lite OtterBox cooler to give away. That thing's about $350. We got hats. We got shirts. We got all kinds of stuff. So get out here and get ready and watch Cowboys and Bucks tonight. But as we do every Thursday, we talk to Eric Morris, head coach at Incarnate Word. Coach, we're out here. We're having some internet issues. If I lose video, don't worry. I'm still on the phone. But, you just end up going full screen, showing off that new hat of yours, man. How you doing?
Fantastic. So what ice house are you at? Where are you?
We are at Hills and Dales Ice House, 1604 in Babcock. So for you, it wouldn't be, but maybe about a 20, 25-minute drive. We'll get that beer you've been threatening with me for a while.
Perfect. I might take you up on that in a little bit.
Absolutely. Just in Google's map, just put in Hills and Dales. You don't have to know. Just listen. She'll get you here. It's exactly what we're doing. And we're going to have fun. Now, Coach, tough loss the other day. Your offense was clicking. The defense, though, you score late, you get a stop, you win the game. How do you I'm trying to think of the right way to ask this question because, late in the game it looked like, and you'll verify or not, or maybe, looked like you let them score because you knew your offense was good enough to go down there and take the lead. So it looked like you let them score with a couple minutes to go. Then you guys score. Not enough time on the clock, I didn't think, for them to go score, yet they got into field goal range, sent the thing to overtime, and ended up winning.
Yeah, situationally, and too, we play the analytics game just like most people now. We have a big book that we pay for, and it's been great for us so far. Our third down and fourth down percentage has gone up dramatically over the course of the last 2 years that we've had it. And so really we went for a fourth down on our own territory with about 4 minutes left that the book said on 4th and 1 to go on our own 30. And so, and to be honest with you, a play that we did not execute at a high level and weren't able to get the 4th and 1. They were able to go down and score. But and I talked to the analytics guys after that, and they said that exactly why the book says that is that you have an explosive offense. And over the course of the last 3 years, you've shown that, it's not unlikely for you guys to score in 2 minutes or less. And so our guys came back and put together a great drive there at the end and gave it to them, I think, with 36, 38 seconds left. And we had two great plays on defense, got them to third down, forced them into a scramble drill. And then when they were able to complete a scramble drill, it just comes down to tackling. I mean, and that's something we've stressed all week, and we've stressed finish this whole entire offseason. We didn't get it done. We've been blunt with our kids this week, and we've got to be able to tackle at a high level more consistently for us to reach our full capability for sure.
When you think about the spring season that you had, and then, of course, the game against Youngstown and the defensive issues, it looks similar to the same problems we saw in the spring. At this point of the year, is it correctable?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. I've faced the defense every day in practice, for all spring long and then throughout fall camp. And so we've added some new guys at some key positions. We got a guy, Brandon Bowen, who's Bruce Bowen's nephew, that's playing defensive end for us. That was definitely the best defensive player on the field for us out there this last game. I mean, he led our team in tackles, had 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss, and that's at a defensive end position. So really excited about what he brings to the table for us. Really where we're missing tackles with some youth on the back end, I thought. And then our linebackers got to play a little bit better. Kalechi Analabechi's a guy that's played a lot of ball for us around here, and we're going to count on him being a tackling machine. And he showed up a couple times. There's a point in the third quarter, and we watched this as a team in the third quarter where, we make them go 3 and out 3 straight times. And we look like a completely different team with different energy, and they're tackling, have good leverage points. And so that shows me it can be done. And I've faced them and I've seen them in scrimmages. They've tackled better. And so we have to find a way to get that coming out on a consistent basis, or just like you said, we're going to continue into these same lulls, and we're going to be in a dogfight at the end. And we've proven the last couple of times in these dogfights we're not tough enough to come out with a victory. And so we've been candid with our guys. I mean, we got to find a way to get over this hump. And we worked hard to do it all week. We've tackled some in practice, a lot of physicality this week. And so look forward to seeing how they respond on Saturday night.
Home opener coming up Saturday night. We'll get into the details against Prairie View in a moment as we visit with Eric Morris, the head football coach of the UIW Cardinals. Your offense, we saw it in the spring. Cam Ward, Brown, the receivers that you have, your offensive line, just dominant. And we saw that the other night against Youngstown State. I mean, you got to feel like you score over 40, you're probably going to win 95% of the games, if not more. Is there a concern as the coach that making sure your offense doesn't get mad at the defense, a division in the locker room, that they're doing their part? They need the defense to step up and get those stops?
Yeah, and too, and this is the ultimate team sport, and we talk about it all the time. And we need all three sides of the ball to come together. And so we pulled some clips this week and watched them as a team just to show that everybody had a chance. I mean, the first drive of the offense, we marched straight down the field, get it, on the 1 yard line, going in to punch it in for a score, and we have a penalty ourselves and drop off sides. Go back and we miss a field goal, and so you look at that, there's some points off the board. We missed a couple extra points. We had a punt block. So I think, with this team, there's always this unity where the team's more important than anything. And that's why, we added tight ends into it. But I like the balance of our offense. I thought, we did a little bit better job of keeping a tight end, keeping them off balance, staying true to the run game. I don't think that I jumped off the script too early and just stopped running the football. And we were really balanced. I think Kevin Brown had a great game. And then our receivers, it's as much balance as we've ever had. I mean, I think we had all four starting receivers had over 80 yards receiving. So I thought Cameron did a great job at really taking what the defense gave him, which we've been preaching this offseason, and not forcing things. And so I think that, that kid is a special talent, and I think he'll continue to only grow and continue to get better throughout this next couple of years.
Eric Morris, head football coach at UIW, with us here on the Blitz on Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250, 94.5 FM. The home opener is Saturday night. You're celebrating First Responder Appreciation Night. Single game season tickets available. Just call the UIW ticket office at 210-805-3000, 805-3000. And you go out and you watch an exciting brand of football. I wish people understood how exciting your offense is. Now, I saw you speaking Tuesday at the San Antonio Quarterback Club. And I don't know if people realize all the connections that you have from your days at Texas Tech and, hearing some of your cool stories at Tech. And as a Longhorn fan, I still blame Blake Gideon for dropping the national championship trophy, not giving Michael Crabtree the credit or the fact that you had 2 touchdowns in that game. But when you started talking about all the coaches and players that you're connected to, and I feel like I know you pretty well, I was even like, damn, Eric Morris has so many connections, and your offense is a blend of all those offenses that we're always talking about.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I've been blessed to be mentored by a lot of great men and a lot of great coaches, and I attribute kind of the way I like to run a program and my philosophy on offense is kind of a combination of all of them. And between Sonny Dykes and Dana Holgerson, Cliff Kingsbury, Sonny Cumbie, Mike Leach, Lincoln Riley, and Seth Luttrell all in one room that kind of molded me as a player and now into a coach. There's a lot of great minds right there. And so I always say, I'm not the smartest guy in the room, but I pride myself into paying attention, and I think my long-term memory is pretty good. And so always able to kind of draw back and take some of those things and those learning lessons that I've had over the course of time with those guys.
And then, of course, some of the big-time players and quarterbacks that you've gotten to recruit, coach up, and, whether you're talking about Patrick Mahomes or a Baker Mayfield, and we see what they do on a football field. In a lot of ways, you see some of that. I don't want to stretch it too far, but Cameron Ward plays like a combination of those two guys. I mean, he's got that it factor that even when a play is broken, it ain't over. He's going to make something happen.
Yeah, incredible vision. I mean, the kid sees the field really well, which, in our recruiting strategizing, we love the fact that he was a great basketball player. And I think that he gets that from playing so many years of basketball, and he's just used to seeing people in space. And so, sometimes, he has plenty of things where, in the game the other day, he threw a pass that definitely he didn't throw in practice, wasn't the right read, but it's a touchdown because he was able to see what the defense is doing and where his space was on that field. So, I think that the sky's the limit. And honestly, I've been around some great ones, and I think that everybody will get a chance someday to see that kid play on Sundays.
High praise coming from UIW head football coach Eric Morris here on the Blitz. You've got Prairie View A&M coming up Saturday night, 7 o'clock kickoff there at Benson Stadium. Beer is available at the stadium, so go out there and watch some great football. What do we know about Prairie View A&M?
Yeah, good ball club. I mean, they looked really sharp this last week against Texas Southern. Really on all three sides of the ball, they kind of dominated the football game. They have a transfer quarterback that's coming from Louisville. 6'5", 230-pound guy that was, a 4-star kid coming out of high school, highly recruited, that had a good game. And he's similar to Cameron. I think his arm talent's probably not as good, but he kind of makes plays when they're broken down. He gets out of the pocket and can change his arm angle and kind of make something out of nothing. So we'll have to do a great job at containing them in the pocket. And then our back end has got to step up. Last week we didn't see hardly any passes against us. Youngstown put a bunch of tight ends in there and just try to run it right down our throats. And so, but these guys, it's what they see every day in practice with us. They're prepared for it, excited about that. And then on defense, they like to blitz a ton and they go cover zero and come after it. And so Cameron's going to have to be sharp. And if he can get the ball out on time to some of these receivers on some one-on-one matchups, I think there could be a lot of explosive plays. I think we had 14 explosions in the Youngstown game. And, in 7 games, they only gave up 30 to 7 games when we watched and scouted them last year. So we're an explosive offense, and hopefully we can continue that with kind of their attacking style.
Eric Morris, head football coach at UIW. Before I let you go, I want to circle back to something because I find it fascinating. 4th and 1 from your own 30-yard line late in the game, and you go for it because the analytics say go for it. And quite honestly, I appreciated the gutsy call there. It didn't work out. You live to play another down. At what point when you rely so heavily on analytics do you go, if that's what the book says, that's what we're doing? Or is it like if you're in Vegas playing blackjack, sometimes you just go with your gut, even though the book says stay or deal?
No, I think if you're going to do it, you have to commit to it. And so, they do a after season review with you with a kind of an analytics team that puts this together for it. So the 2 times I didn't trust it last year were both inside the 10-yard line, and it was like going to be 4th down and 6 or 7 both times, and they thought I should go for it instead of kicking a field goal. But remind you, they take into effect who you're playing, who your opponent is, how much they score, how much you score. All these games are done based on your opponent. And then also, they think we score so many touchdowns that 3 points is not worth it, that they'd rather give the team the ball inside the 10-yard line and make them drive 90 yards. So there's definitely a science to it. And I think, when you tell the average football fan about it, or if they heard the conversations of like, hey, 4th and 7 to go after this on your own, 12-yard line, they'd be like, holy smokes, that's not smart. But, I've made myself, we trust what's going on. We did a lot of good things with it last year. It's helped us out in so many situations that we've committed to it wholeheartedly.
So with that said, and again, you've got I'm assuming you're paying for the service, so you might as well use it if you're paying for it. You get the information. So at that point, they say go for it. Is it on you as the play caller to call the right play in that situation, or they give you an idea of what play to run in those situations?
Oh, no, it's 100% on us on what the scheme is and what kind of play we're going to run. And so, and I think any kind of good blackjack player, is going to be consistent. And how many times have you been in Vegas and, you're at third base there and somebody's just doing some erratical things and it messes up a good hand. You leave right away, right? And
Yep.
I'm a big blackjack fan. And so I'm glad you kind of brought that to my attention. I've never thought of it that way, but this actually makes my decision seem even more right in my brain right now, just because you compare it to blackjack. So I like where we're going with this right now.
See, and again, I'm a big blackjack player. If my wife sits down next to me, I leave because I can't play with her. She does too much stupid stuff on the blackjack table. But there's a lot of times I know what the book says, and I'll go with my gut. And I don't know if I'm 50-50, but I know I'm not up when I trust my gut in a lot of those situations. But if I've got a lot of chips out there, I'm always going by the book. Always.
No doubt. And there's a lot of chips right now for us. And so yeah, we've trusted it. It's been great for us so far. And, the end of the game last year, I mean, it actually had a situation in the book where it was telling us, I think it was against Northwestern State, with how much time was left and how fast we could score. With like 3 minutes of game left, they wanted us to let them score immediately, which is hard to do as a coach. You walk over to the defensive coordinator and you're like, hey, next play, let them score because – And it was right. We were able to do it, and then we got it back, and then we marched down and went ahead. And so yeah, I mean, it's definitely mind-boggling at some points during the course of the game, and you kind of take a step back, and it's like 4th and 7. They want me to go for it, not kick a field goal right here, and so if you question one of my calls during the game, just blame it on the analytics, I guess.
Well, that's it. Between the broadcasters and the fans wondering what the hell are you thinking. You're going with what the book says to do. I mean, that's hit on 16, even though he's showing that. Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm with you there, but that's part of it. It's a fascinating element we could talk about this all day, Coach, but I know you're busy. We've got to get ready for the Cowboys-Bucks tonight. Who do you like in this one?
I like the Buccaneers. I mean, it's so remarkable to me how Tom Brady's been able to do it for so long. They put so much talent around him. I'm a big Mike Evans fan. I remember when I was at University of Houston as a receivers coach, he came to one of our camps and was just blown away about he's a basketball player, and the coach calls and is like, hey, the kid's never really played football and they're putting time into it and was just a man amongst boys out there. And so I've always respected him a ton. And so yeah, I mean, I think Bucks by 10. I'm going to go probably 24-14. Dak's rusty. Zeke's going to fumble like he always does, and I'm going with the Bucks.
Yeah, Mr. Analytics, Eric Morris, head coach of the UIW Cardinals. They have Prairie View A&M Saturday night at Benson Stadium. Get your tickets, single game and season tickets. Call the UIW ticket office, 210-805-3000. 210-805-3000. Saturday is also first responder night. Good luck, Coach. Hopefully we'll see you out here at Hills and Dales Ice House in about an hour. And if not, we'll see you Saturday night there at Benson.
No doubt. And I'm going to bring you an analytics book next time I see you too, because I think it'll be fascinating for you to see how they're set up and how they go quarter by quarter. But I'm going to bring it to you so you can kind of see what's going on game in situations.
Please do. Appreciate it. Good luck Saturday.
See you, Jason. Y'all have a great one.
Talk to you next week. Eric Morris, as he joins us every Thursday here on the Blitz, head coach of the UIW Cardinals. And I tell you what, that is a fun football team to watch and a great dude to talk to, because he's telling you stuff that a lot of coaches aren't going to tell you. About the analytics, I didn't know it was that detailed from an outside service. That's a conversation in and of itself.